With the first episode being out there in the world, I was riding high on life, and rightly so. Like, as demonstrated in this video, I'd been working tirelessly on my craft. What I had created, it was beautiful, high concept art, but beautiful, it just doesn't get you far in 2025. Making incredible things just isn't enough anymore. You have to play the game. You've got to cut out of context clips for social media, you've got to feed the tech giant's algorithm, and you've got to get your art living on a cloud server that's somewhere in the desert using enough water for a small African nation. If I wanted that kind of success, and I did, I needed to market my product. The only problem was I didn't know anything about marketing, because in year 12 I chose a subject called sport and rec over marketing and business. So I turned to the smartest guy in the world, former Melbourne Demons board member and 10 out of 10 fella, Russel Howcroft. Oh, and he's on the Gruen transfer as well. Damn it, I should have listed that first. It's a bigger credit, isn't it? Anyway, enjoyed the show. This might be a too broad a question, but has marketing gotten worse? Is that too broad? I know things are changing, it's evolving.
Yeah.
But to me, the good old days, they're gone. You know, when you'd have a bit of paper, you'd draw a little ad for some cigarettes, and then
Yes.
say something off color to the secretary. That would you drink the Mad Men style thing, and now it's like we're trying to get in your algorithm.
Yeah.
To make you buy things you don't want. Whereas before, it's like we all wanted cigarettes. We just didn't know which cigarettes we wanted.
That's it. So what's definitely happened is that the industry's got poorer.
Oh.
So if there's a correlation between wealth and skill, capability, and output.
Yeah.
So if you're, as an industry, poorer, less money coming through the industry, then that means you pay people less money, which may well mean you've got less talent.
Yeah, they might go somewhere else.
So that
lucrative field of stand-up comedy, perhaps. Potentially.
Yeah. So that it's not bad though, is it? The stand-up comedy business.
Oh, if you do okay.
It's you and a microphone, right?
Well,
and a light.
And you had to turn up today. This is sort of comedy adjacent. You say that, but then I mean, yeah, there are more costs.
I have done the numbers on comedy every now and then. So
you are such a numbers guy.
No, I'm not really. I like to know that you're making money.
What are your comedy numbers?
Well, so let's say, for example,
you've got pen and paper. This is awesome.
Okay, so let's say, for example, we'll just go to a calculator. Let's just do that. So let's go to. Let's go.
My business model's about to be exposed horribly.
Okay, so let's go to Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
Fantastic. Yep.
And okay, so what's like a moderate venue? Let's say.
How big? What, 200 seats?
200 seats.
Yeah.
If I'm at the Forum, how many?
Oh, Forum. No. Forum. It's split. So seated, I think it's 750.
Okay, let's go for 750. Okay, and how many shows am I going to do?
22.
So I'm going to do 22, and I'm going to charge how much per ticket?
Well, it would correlate to venue hire.
So let's say it's $75 a ticket.
I mean, I think that's high, but yeah, if you were a premium act, you could. I mean, you're Russell. I mean, you can do what you want. Yeah. So let's say 75.
Okay, and I get to keep of that 75. I might, in the comedy world, I probably get to keep quite a lot of it.
I think you're.
I'm probably going to keep 25 of the 75.
You're dreaming. You are.
Am I dreaming?
I reckon. Flip it. I think you get to keep 25 and you lose 75
to
do festivals.
Yeah. So I'm going to lose money.
At a festival, not to like out, but all festivals, your overheads are much bigger because you're using the infrastructure of the festival to sell tickets. If you were doing 22 nights touring in a 750, I think potentially you could start looking at maybe a 30-70 split. It depends the deal with your promoter.
Okay.
But venue hire, they don't care if you're like a band or you're one person.
Right.
You know?
So I'm making $25. So
if you're making $25 from 750 for 22 nights, that's huge money.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's $400,000 or a little more, in fact.
Look, if you're doing well, you're doing well.
Yeah. I want you to make money, Sam. I'm not. I think that this is.
Thank you.
Russell. And I'd like it.
I appreciate that.
I'd like it to be 4 million.
I would like to make heaps of money as well.
Okay. So what's happened in the advertising industry? So you go right back to when I started. As a result of my father organising me a week's work experience.
Fantastic.
And at the end of the week, at McCann Erickson, they said, "We'd like you to stay." And so I stayed.
So how old were you?
21.
So you've gone to university.
Yeah, did the what was the Chisholm Institute of Technology, which is now Monash Uni.
Yeah.
Did the marketing degree there.
Fantastic.
And very early days marketing degree as well. Now that's quite normal, but at the time...
You were still at the Mad Men, cigarettes, bourbon, long lunch situation.
So all that finished in 1991. There was a global recession in 91, and the advertising industry really got punched in the face in 91.
Well, of course, because they're the things that people say, well, that's the first thing we're cutting the money back from, right?
So from 1987 to 91, I did see the Mad Men era. In that, I had, for example, when I was working in London in 1988, 89, 1991, and beyond that, I had an expense account that had no limit to it.
Oh.
Yeah. And so...
God, I'm just nostalgic for a time that I wasn't around for, but my God, that's good.
Yeah. And so my job was to ensure that whatever the client wanted, they got. Whatever they wanted, they got.
What did you rack up on there? Any good things?
One day, one evening, very early days, and I was 23 maybe, 22 or 3, and we went to a place called Toppers.
Oh,
which
doesn't sound good.
Sounds
like not the most classy establishment.
No, well, the logo was a gentleman in a top hat.
Okay,
and it was called Toppers. But this is a place whereby girls come up to you at the bar and they say, "Would you like to buy me a vodka?" And you realise you've got no choice.
Oh,
the vodka that you buy them is an entire bottle. Right, so this was
that's a good business.
That was the business model. That's right, and as a result,
and they drink it, or do you get to drink any of the vodka, or do they just take the bottle and say "see ya" and then leave?
Well, I think you probably have some with them, and then it wasn't a brothel, but nor was it innocent. Sort of let's call it.
Okay, we're going to clip that soundbite.
yeah. So sort of halfway between. So anyway, so the bill I racked up was £2,500.
Oh, this is pound sterling.
Yeah, and because in the UK, and I bet you this is still the case, the most junior person's got to pick up the bill.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works over there.
That's some kind of Scientology method of what? That doesn't make sense at all.
Well, it does in that the administration of the expense is the most junior person's responsibility.
Oh, in saying that so the junior person doesn't have to foot the bill; they just have to go and do the legwork and
do the admin,
swipe the card, sign the thing.
Yes, but
gotcha. That's so fair, by the way.
Yeah, but it's still on your card, right?
So so you get Toppers on your statement.
Yes. So here's the problem: I didn't have the ability on my card in order to pay for the £2,500 Toppers. I had an emergency card that my father had given me. So I had to put Toppers on my father's emergency card. Well, I had no choice.
And how did the old man react?
Well, it was.
Had he been to Toppers? He probably knew Toppers.
It did. It reminded he and I of a story when I was very young. Truth newspaper. Do you remember the Truth newspaper?
No, but it sounds now like an alt-right kind of online thing, don't you think? I'm getting my articles from the Truth.
Yeah. So the Truth was a newspaper that would come out every weekend, and it was actually the races would be the form guide would be in there, and it would be the policeman ate my hamster, that sort of territory.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah.
And in the
good newspaper.
yeah. And on the back pages were brothels.
Oh, okay.
And so my father and I, when he got the bill for Toppers, we were sort of laughing about the time when I was a young kid. And I rang up one of the brothels.
What?
And said to the brothel, "Is there a Mr. Howcroft there?"
Oh.
And I told my father that. And he literally lost his mind.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And he lost his mind because I think he imagined some old madam walking through the brothel yelling out, "Is there a Mr. Howcroft in the house?" Yeah.
And he's like, I was at the other one. You know which one I go to.
And his best mate was, saying, "Oh, okay, I didn't know John was here." I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, that's so fun. How old were you when you rang the brothel?
Oh, I reckon I was 11 or 12.
I love the idea of your little squeaky voice. "Hello, is my dad there? Could you see if he's there?
John Howcroft there?
Is he? Can you just go room to room?"
I don't know why we thought that was funny.
It is. Can I say it is funny? I'm a professional comedian, and that is funny. That stands the test of time.
Excellent news.
Yeah. In fact, I would encourage anyone listening, if you're an 11-year-old boy, to give that a go. Anyway. Nothing like stitching your dad up. But so marketing is kind of, you're saying it's become poorer. I guess that's traditional, not that it's traditional media, but like rev spend has dropped across the board, right? So you're looking now at things of like people are going to different industries, or how do you make more with less, I guess?
Well, that's what's happening. So in the back to the toppers days, if a client was spending $1 million, the advertising agency's revenue on that million, let's call it 200,000. It may have been a bit shy of 200,000, but
Yeah.
they would have got $200,000. So client spends $1 million, which you'd put the majority of that on the television.
Yep.
You get a rebate from the TV station, 10% media commission. Media commission, and you'd add a service fee to the production of the advertising.
Yep.
So your service fee plus your media commission would add up to, let's call it 20%
Yep.
of the total expenditure.
Yes.
Right? So in Australia now, you've probably got 25 billion of advertising revenue.
Jeez, it's still a bit of money kicking around.
It's
isn't
a lot.
Jeez.
It's a lot, but there's no way whatever 20% of 25 billion is. That is not the revenue line of the media and advertising industry.
No.
Nowhere near it.
Not even close.
Not even close. So what's happened is, so there was the 91 recession, then in 95,
Yep.
there was the uncoupling, what's the right term?
Well, uncoupling was the Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Martin thing, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that's relevant to the conversation we're having.
So media uncoupled itself from production.
Yes.
So then you had a media agency and a production agency,
companies,
a creative agency.
Yep.
And then there was downward pressure on the revenues that those two entities were able to extract from clients.
Yeah.
And so the 1 + 1 there no longer equals 20%.
No. There's this other slice that has to take money, right?
Then you've got the tech behemoths.
Well, that's the interesting thing to me, where I'm like, all sense of normality is kind of gone because they're now the biggest player, right?
They are the biggest player. And so those big dark clouds that come over, the Australian marketplace, the Australian media marketplace, they are, every dollar that's on the table, they want, So whether it's Meta or whether it's Alphabet, they want every single dollar. And they're not going to say, oh, you know what, 7, 9,
give
10,
the old guys a go.
Yeah,
We like them. Give them someone will want to read a full page spread in the Australian.
Right.
Let the money go there.
They want every single dollar that's spent because that's what they are. That's what that machine is. That's their business. The business of extracting as many ad dollars as they possibly can. And so it's very tough. It's very tough for clients on where to put the money. Agencies on how to make money. The ideas being substantial enough that they resonate with the consumer.
So
it's tough.
So you're a man that comes from, you've probably got a unique situation because, like you said before, you were an exec and then you're on the screen. You're a marketing guy that's led all the campaigns and you've been in the media on the other side of it. If say I run a huge business, Sam Taunton, PT, whatever it is.
Inc.
Right? Inc. Yep, thank you.
So it's called Stink.
It's called Stink. Oh, yeah. God damn it. That's okay. That would get some brand. That Stink would work. No, Stink, I think, is not a bad name for a... Yeah, that would definitely check out for sure.
ST Inc.
ST Inc. That's great.
Thank you.
So if Stink comes to you and I've got $10 million, no way you're being like, we're putting the majority with like TV... No, and you're on radio as well.
Yeah, I'll put money on. Well, okay. So
where do you put the money?
Give me your target audience.
Really cool, really cool 25 to 45-year-old grocery shoppers.
Okay, 25 to 45.
They would love Stink.
Okay, they're going to love Stink. So you're going to come to me with your Stink.
Yeah.
And you got how much? 10 million.
10 million. It's
magnificent.
Been a good year. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Okay, so what you need to do?
Trying to expand though.
What we're going to do is we're going to spend $1 million a month. Right? We might be off air for a couple of months, but to make the maths easy, we're going to spend $1 million a month.
Okay.
Because you need to be consistent, Sam, and you need to be relentless.
Right? So it's just consistently always there, knocking you down, being like you can't get away from it over a period of time.
That's exactly what you must do. All good marketers understand that it's actually about being consistent and relentless. So even if you're spending $1.2 million, you're going to spend $100,000 a month. Or if you're spending, $50,000, divide that by and spend $5,000 every.
Gotcha.
You got it?
Gotcha.
So that the number one trick, that's the wrong word, to getting it right.
A trick works, I think. Yeah. It is a trick. Like marketing is a kind of a trick, right?
Consistent and relentless. So think Bunnings Warehouse, right?
Yes.
So at no point in any given day do you not know that lowest prices are just the beginning. They are relentless.
Yeah.
So great
Annoyingly so.
Yeah. Well, not really.
Well, to
'cause-
the point where the lowest prices are just the beginning. But I don't know. Is there any other hardware stores? Like, you don't even know now because they're so around.
Well, there you go. So they are the ubiquitous Bunnings warehouse is the ubiquitous hardware store. So whenever you need a nail or a hammer or an anything to do with home improvement, that's where you're going, isn't it?
Yeah, if someone said to me,
Have a
"Hey, do you know
choice.
if there's a Mitre 10 around here?" I'd say, "Shut the hell up! What are you talking about?"
Well, so Mitre 10, I mean, they need to compete with advertising. They've got no choice, right?
Yeah.
So they need to find a way to spend more than Bunnings does on their advertising. So that puts all sorts of pressures on their margins,
on their bottom line.
It's quite tough. Okay, so
yeah, okay.
25 to 45, male or female?
Look, in a dream world, it'd be more ladies than men. No, let's say it's slightly skewed. If you look at my Instagram numbers, I think it's 55% women, 45% men.
Excellent. Okay.
And I think Stink would be a reflection of that.
Yeah. So what you need to do is a mix. So we're going to have a mix. We're going to be influence first.
Yeah.
I think that's fine to do that. That's quite smart, in fact.
Okay, great.
So we're going to ensure that the influence marketplace is inundated with stink.
Do you mean like actual people being like, "Hey, what's up, Stink? Just send me these products. It smells good. It shouldn't be called Stink," or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So that is like, because I always see that and I'm like, what could the cut through be on that?
High, yeah.
Really?
Because the numbers aggregate really quickly, and so you would do that. You would also ensure that you're telling your big brand story. So the issue with small screen mobile, mobile marketing is obviously very powerful.
Yeah.
But what we would call that in the main is bottom of the funnel. So,
Oh, yes. I know about the funnel.
yeah, so
me,
awareness,
I'm across
interest,
the funnel.
desire, action, right?
Well, I don't know the words, but I've heard of the funnel.
called
I've heard of a funnel.
Yeah, it's the AIDA model, awareness, interest, desire, action.
Harry's nodding. He's loving this chat.
Okay,
He's a marketing guy. He loves this.
So the phone is awesome because the phone it means you're close to the point of sale. Because let's get even more. So I can buy Stink online, right?
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that I'm marketing online so I can buy Stink online because this thing here is like a cash register.
Yeah, you want to go bang, like minimize the clicks, right, to purchase.
Bang. Yeah. So that is a big part of where we're going to spend our money.
Yeah.
We are going to tell our story, the Stink
Fantastic.
story.
Fantastic.
And so I think what we'll be doing is we'll be making a selection between outdoor and TV. TV still plays a big role.
Yeah,
and the TV that you might do is YouTube as well. But equally, you can, if you're consistent and relentless in a TV sense, you can also get really good audience.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing you can do, good, smart media buyers, they buy the off-peak stuff, lots of off-peak. Right?
Oh.
It's not a bad way to go.
What, like a rerun of Just Shoot Me at 11:30 p.m.?
Exactly.
Really?
Because you can make the numbers add up. Absolutely. Because the reason why advertising is awesome is because you can reach many people at not very much per person, right? Less than the price of a stamp.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like free. If you influence one person, what does it matter? Like, there is no way to quantify if that person, how affected that person has been unless they purchase the thing, right?
That's right. And but then again, you can make the numbers work. And you will find that if we get our media planning right for Stink, you will go, hang on a second, I've put $1 in and I've got $3 back. Right. And the it's very interesting on 3RW, we have a lot of what are called direct advertisers in that they come straight to the station.
Yeah, they cut out the middleman.
They cut out the middleman. Right? And what is also interesting about those direct to the station advertisers, they say, well, thanks to you, 3RW, I've got a chateau in the south of France.
Yeah.
Right, because they know the power of being consistent and relentless on a talkback radio station.
Yeah.
So all those advertisers. So whether you're a plumber, whether you're creating blinds, whether you are a tile person, they will all say, oh my goodness me, the return on advertising investment. So really smart entrepreneurs realize that actually this thing is an awesome machine.
Well, yeah.
And when they can make their own decision. So a lot of what happens is corporates take over. So that 10 million, you've got a corporation. The people with the 10 million, they're nervous about their job. It goes to the agencies. They're nervous about doing it the right way. But if it's just a direct. So it's why I really love talking to the direct advertisers.
Well, yeah, that you actually get to hear what they say. You don't have the narrative spun by the people in the middle, right?
That's right. And they go, oh my God, we love it. Every time we run an ad, we make more money.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, if it's that simple, then it's like,
great. It is. Well, the most successful advertising Australian ever He is a fellow called Dave Droger.
Dave Droger.
Yeah, so he's got an agency called Droger 5.
Yeah.
He now is in New York. He sold his agency to Accenture. An amazing success story, and he has got one of the all-time great quotes. No one thinks they need advertising until they lose their cat. It's so how good's that?
It's so true.
It's
And
so
then, like,
true.
We got to find a electricity pole somewhere. We got to put some pictures on there.
I know.
I'm calling that. I'm in the Facebook groups. Where's my goddamn cat?
Where's my cat? So as soon as you have a need, then you use advertising.
Then you use advertising.
Yeah.
But is it like ruining the world a little bit?
No. Well,
Is there some sense of it's like so? Like, do you know? Not to go back. to the
YouTube
old
doesn't
days.
exist, so people love their YouTube. It doesn't exist without advertising.
What, YouTube doesn't?
Yeah, Google exists for advertising.
Well,
right?
yeah, totally. Yeah,
That's
exactly right.
That's its purpose.
But it also sells ad blocker to then block you from the ads that they're serving to
Okay,
everyone.
so then their revenue is subscription rather than advertising, but they still have to make money.
Of course.
And commercial radio, it exists for advertising.
Of course, yes.
Commercial TV. See, this is one of the things which is interesting when you're in the sort of executive bowels of organisations like that. I mean, I would always argue, no, we exist for advertising.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have a look at the front page of The Age in, let's say, 1900, the front page of The Age in 1900 would have been classified ads. Would have been front.
What, the front page?
Front page would have been line by line by line by line and line.
Yeah, but back then it's like ads were more exciting because you were like, hey, what's, not much TV's not around. It's like, let's have a look at the ads.
Yeah, because everyone's got something to sell. So the front page of The Age was all the things that people had in Melbourne to sell. But then what happens is there's always a fight between editorial and advertising.
Yeah.
And of course, in a newspaper sense, the editorial won. They won the day. And unless you were the Trading Post, which of course was designed for advertising.
Love the trading. My dad loved the Trading Post, let me tell you.
Well, that's eBay, right?
Well, totally, yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of that battle between, are we here for advertising or are we here for editorial? My argument on that is, well, you've got to be there for advertising because if you're not, then you're not going to be in business.
Well, yeah, the advertisers are the ones.
Yeah.
But now I think advertising has moved. It's a bit sneakier. Like you're trying to advertise to people, but make it not feel like you're being advertised to. Maybe that's always been the goal of advertising, but now I feel like you consume something and then, at the end you want to be like, oh, that's an ad, was it? Oh, okay, I guess I'll buy that product. Well done.
Yeah,
you've got me. It's a trick.
I understand,
and I fell for the trick.
I'm not a huge fan of sneaky advertising. I don't like that at all. What I like is the notion that I'm an ad. Look at me and please buy my product service. I'm more engaged by the purity of a beautiful piece of advertising.
I'm with you. I think and often if I can get, say if I have YouTube Premium, right? So I don't see the ads. I'm sure you're still out there just freewheeling it to see what's going on.
I love the ads.
Yeah, of course. Well, you caught the train here as well. I'm sure to see the outdoor advertising.
Yeah, I love doing that, right? The outdoor ads. Absolutely. You can see what's going on in the marketplace.
Totally. But if I can get past if it keeps me without hitting the skip button, that's the test, right?
That is the test.
And I guess that's what everyone's trying to do with their copy or their creative,
That's
right?
right.
They're trying to do something that, and not like a hook being like, stay tuned to see the answer, like something that captures you and makes you feel something, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But that's the hard part to do with anything you're doing.
It's incredibly difficult. And these days, part of what I think you need to do, if we were in the business of Stink, we're going to sell Stink.
We've got to sell Stink.
I would say to you, as the owner of Stink, you know what? Let's start with the 7-second commercial. So I want the 7-second to work and work beautifully.
Yeah.
And then we might build from there. So we'll do a 7, we might do a 15, we might do a 30, a 45, a 60.
Yeah.
In terms
60, sounds crazy.
Yeah,
In 2025.
I know, but when I
60-second
started in the
commercial.
business, they were pretty much all 60s.
Yeah.
I can remember being in client meetings where there was an argument about, look, that's not a 60, it's a 45.
Yeah.
And we're going, I'm sorry, it's not a 45, it's a 60.
That's crazy.
It was crazy talk.
How are you getting anyone to last to 45 seconds?
And there was
in a lot of it,
Well, it's got to be beautiful
what I'm
storytelling. Well, originally the 60, of course, made sense because this is pre the remote control. So I did have. I did have a lot
joy.
of. I had a lot
How
of fun.
easy was marketing back then? It's
Exactly.
like, where are you going to go? You're stuck.
Yeah, you know what got in the beginning of the decline of television advertising was the creation of the remote control.
Yeah,
Right?
God damn it. Throw it in the bin.
Yeah, well, in the old days, if you're on 7, you were watching Seven, and who wanted to get off the couch and change the channel?
Of course, why
So
would you? Yeah.
you watched the ads, and so every single ad that ran during Channel 7 was watched by, unless you were getting a cup of tea or whatever.
Yeah.
So
or you had like a long stick.
yeah, huge numbers. So there was the fellow that I worked for, the agency I worked for in London, was called Howard Spink. Howard Spink.
Low Howard Spink.
And if there are any sort of advertising lovies listening to this, they will go, "Ooh, Low Howard Spink." I mean, at the time,
That was the big deal.
they were serious. Yeah,
They got toppers money. That's these people.
they were very serious. Well, in fact, they would make television commercials. I mean, I reckon even this is 1990s, early 90s, late 80s. I don't think I was involved with any TV ad at that time that would have had a budget of less than £500,000.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so this is like
no
the old
exaggeration.
school thing you hear about, like
Yeah.
500, nothing less than 500,000 pounds.
And we made a commercial for Stella Artois, which became quite a famous commercial. It was riffing off Jean de Florette.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and it was shot in Aix-en-Provence.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I
You had
was
to go back and ask for more money.
well,
Guys, we need 750.
That's sort of what happened. And so we shot this beautiful commercial, and we cut a 60-second commercial, and I took it down to the client, and
Yeah.
everyone was thrilled. And the boss, a fellow called Frank Lowe. Now,
Oh yeah, I know who Frank Lowe is.
yeah, Sir Frank Lowe.
Yep.
So he rings us up. He says, "Fellas, where are you?" "Well, we're just coming back. We've sold the 60, Stella Artois, everyone's thrilled." And he goes, "That's not a 60.
Oh no.
That's a 70.
Oh.
Right?
Love it.
And it was just one of the great moments, because it's like, how do we possibly go back to our client, who at this point in time is very agitated?
Oh yeah. They've just really outlaid some cash.
Yeah, we've been in Aix-en-Provence. We've a 2-day shoot turned into a 5-day shoot. Thankfully, we had weather insurance.
Oh thank God.
We have we've sold a 60. The 60's beautiful. They've never been happier.
Yeah.
And in typical Low Howard Spink style, we were going to say, "That's not a 60. That's a 70."
But if you say it like that, it might work. Because I'm as soon as you said it to me, I was like, of course it's a 70. It's a 70. It's crazy to think it was ever a 60.
I've never
Insane.
managed to ask Sir Frank, was he doing that just to take the piss and see whether
To just see how far you jump. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went back to the client, and here is the confession. And we just said to the client, "Look, Frank, you know Frank?" "Yes, we know Frank." "So he thinks it's a 70, not a 60. So how about we cut a 70 and we'll run it once," right? Because you can imagine the TV stations, they just want to sell 60.
Well, of course, everything's in 60. It's
Right.
like that's the easiest way to sell the slot, right?
Precisely. Anyway, whatever, that's a silly story.
No, but it's not a silly story at all.
It went on to, it's actually one of the great advertising case studies. The Stella Artois, Jean de Florette, the growth that Stella got off the back of that commercial,
Yeah.
then had a 20-year run of building the most beautiful advertising. And it all started with Jean de Florette.
Yeah. So it was a 70.
It was a 70.
It was a 70.
It definitely
No
was a
two
70.
ways about it.
That brand was very famous for its end line, which was reassuringly expensive.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I love that. Not hiding it or like
Exactly.
just switching it the other way, right? So
Yeah.
that it's like you're getting what you're paying for here
That's
type
right.
thing.
And of course, we had to go to Venice to shoot a print ad.
Love it.
Literally, we had to go to Venice. We couldn't do a composite, as it would be called.
Yeah.
Well, what would you do now? You've got to go to Venice. We had to be at the Grand Canal of Venice.
No green screens around back then.
Right,
Couldn't-
precisely. So we had to go there. We had to use a fellow called Robert Fresson,
Oh,
who was
I don't know who he is, but I just add it to the bill.
he was known as the greatest food photographer in
Oh,
the world. We had to fly him from.
that's a rod as well, isn't
I
it?
know. We had to
That's
fly him in from New York.
Oh,
And anyway, so we're in Venice, and the ad. So you can imagine there's a beautiful goblet of Stella Artois.
yep.
There it is on our little table, and then and this little table is on a. I was going to say veranda. It's got to be a better word than veranda.
Verandas too. You were saying great European places, and then you go veranda. And I was like, what are you talking about? No, maybe the alfresco dining area.
That'll do. And that of course is on the Grand Canal. So
beautiful.
there's this beautiful poster in the sort of bottom right hand corner is the goblet of Stella, and then the rest of the image is the Grand Canal, and then underneath the goblet is you can see what you immediately know is the check or the bill.
Yes.
So you can see that there's a check there. So there's the beautiful beer.
Oh, nice.
There's the check.
Yeah, that's good. I like this.
There's the Grand Canal, and then the headline is Debt in Venice. Stella Artois, reassuringly expensive.
See, this is good stuff, but you don't see this stuff anymore.
Well,
That's
no,
what I'm
you
saying.
do-
Well,
you-
maybe I do. Maybe I'm not looking. I'm just getting bombarded with like
Yeah.
the big stuff, I guess.
Well, but see, things like that are rare, and they were rare then, and they're still rare now, right? So
Are people taking less chances though?
probably yes.
As rev spend comes down, it's like why you want to be, instead of reaching and hoping it goes well, and
Yeah.
if you lose, you lose. You're like, well,
Yeah.
let's play to the center because you know that that's the safest place to be. But then if you play for the center, you end up with the center, and no one wants the center.
Well, that's right, and you're not going to get margin because the reason why you're having reassuringly expensive and you're doing clever things like Debt in Venice is that because that enables you to charge a little more.
Yeah.
And so charging a little more means you're making more money. Right? So
Yes.
what's the role of a brand? So the role of our Stink brand, the role is, yes, to generate demand.
The role could be a product, actually. I don't know what Stink make, but it sounds like the role could fit in there somewhere.
Sure, yeah. And so we want to generate demand for your product.
Yeah.
But what we really, if we're doing a really good job, we're going to get margin. We're going to get people. There's this sort of perceived value, right?
Yeah.
They're going to sort of unreasonably see great value in it because of the role of the advertising.
Yes. Okay. And
Fun, isn't it?
oh, it's fun. It's fun, but it's scary. Like, because now I think to me it was fun. And then now I think the way algorithms are they're ruining everyone's life. They potentially could lead to the end of democracy, right? Like we're all just stuck in this little vacuum.
I agree with you on that.
And advertising is all for the purpose potentially of advertising, right? We want collect the data. The big companies have it. They can shell it out.
Yep.
And they can do what they want. So then people can advertise to me. So
Yep.
I'm like, is advertising responsible for that?
Yes. Yes, yeah. Well, in that those that own the algorithms are seeking audience because they sell. I mean, I think that there's a fair beef on behalf of the world.
Yeah,
that the platforms are making money off our data.
Yeah, of course, right?
So our behaviour determines or gives them something to sell, and then as a result of selling it, they get the revenue, and therefore what's the opposite of virtuous?
Sam Taunton, potentially? No. But the opposite.
Not so virtuous circle.
Not so virtuous.
Not so virtuous
evil,
circle.
potentially.
Right. So I have had this fantasy thought for some time now that, so if we go back to the first industrial revolution, Sam.
Love it.
Right. So what happened was that a very few people got unbelievably wealthy.
Yeah.
And then lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people were exploited. Yeah?
Yes.
And
for
so
labor. Well, someone's got to do the stuff, you know.
Right. And so what they did, of course, is they created unions in order to say, I'm sorry, but you can't be exploiting this individual here.
Yeah.
We're going to sort of band together to create something of some power and try and get this sort of capital versus labour discussion.
Collective bargaining.
Right. So all of us are, in fact, as individuals, just giving up our data for free.
Yeah.
And the big behemoths are making money out of our personal data.
Yes.
So let's just create a data union. Let's all get together and say, I'm sorry, you can't have that.
Well, I don't think it's that simple, right?
I'm sure it's not that simple.
I mean,
it's just
before you know it, you've got like a CMFEU type there running it. It's all corrupt. So I'm trying to log on to Google, and they're like, "Not if you're not a member of the union."
Don't you like the idea though?
I love the idea. Well, I'm a union. I love the idea of a union.
Yeah,
in
there
any
you go.
capacity.
A
I'd
data
like to
union.
unionize the comedy industry. No one wants to talk to me at all. I would like to do the data union, but then won't the union just have all the data? And then the union then is like, hey, well, we'll just.
But you're a
become the next
shareholder, so
Google.
you would be a shareholder in the data union, and that data union would have to be paid by the behemoth in order for the behemoth to get the data that the behemoth wants, right?
Yeah.
So there's a genuine transaction between the data that they want and the owners of the data.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you might be a shareholder, and you know what? You know that book I was telling you about that got me on the project, and have you been paying attention?
Yes.
I got a royalty check yesterday,
Fantastic. What are we're talking big numbers?
$67. So,
Wow,
but it is
that's
nice
fantastic.
that 10 years down the track, it's nice to still getting a $67 check.
I love that. That's great. 67.
Right.
It's 67 more than you had. Well, Well, you're $67 richer.
Exactly. So currently, your data that the big guys are exploiting,
Yeah.
you're not even getting $67.
I'm getting nothing.
You're getting nothing.
I'm getting
out
a
of it.
weird shirt from Temu that I didn't really. As soon as I buy it, I'm like,
Right.
well, I didn't want that.
Well, and it's feeding you the same stuff all the time. And this, of course, is the joy of broadsheet newspapers. It's funny, isn't it? You get a broadsheet newspaper. It's the peripheral vision of the broadsheet newspaper which actually provides the joy. You'll see something in the top left-hand page or, the top of the right. There'll be something there that there's no way would be fed on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So you're actually forced to look outside the thing. And often that can spruik your little interest. But I feel like the algorithm does try to do that. That would be like based on I'm a guy in my 30s, straight guy, white. That's almost enough for them to just feed me.
Bombard you with.
Totally. And they're probably like what? Just, cool stuff all the time. Really cool stuff. No, I get like self-help motivator guys being like,
Yeah.
Are you depressed? You need to run around the block or whatever. And I'm like, how did I sign up for? I didn't want this.
Isn't it? It's so annoying where there's this product, Age Mate.
Age Mate?
Age Mate. So I've obviously lingered over on my feed Age Mate, which of course is some anti-aging thing,
Oh, is it? I thought it was a dating website.
No, it's not a dating website.
An anti-aging?
Anti-aging.
Like
right?
just a cream
Whatever.
or something?
Yeah. No. It's a pill or
hell yeah.
powder or something.
Oh.
And so, by the way, have you heard about H2? H2?
Is this that, what's his name? Not that guy that's trying to live to 200.
Oh, yeah, that fellow who had
Brian.
There's a fellow who had a baby. It was in the paper yesterday. He's 93.
What? He had a baby at 93?
Yeah. He reckons he wants to go again.
Is he on Age Mate? Does he want to go again?
Apparently he does.
Jeez.
Anyway, so all of a sudden, I'm being bombarded with this Age Mate. I think I've got the brand right. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's so annoying, right?
Yeah.
And I suppose I could buy a subscription so I don't have to watch the ads, don't I? But as you know, I like watching the ads.
You could log out.
Okay.
But then you're in the wild. But then you get annoyed. We're so programmed now to it. Then you're annoyed that it's not catered to you. And you're like, I don't want, whatever the weird things are.
It is clearly we all watch it happening to ourselves, don't I? That to all of us that the algorithm is taking me down this path, and so how do you get out of that path?
Well, I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows. Maybe the union is the first idea I've heard, to be honest. Besides the idea of trying to break up the tech companies and make it illegal to farm all our data, but that's not going to happen.
Well, they broke up the Bell. They broke up Bell. BELL, which was the original, telco behemoth of the US.
Oh, yes.
They broke up that, and they created the baby bells, as they were known.
Well, they did. They do break up. They did it in the UK with the supermarkets.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it's possible, I guess, but I don't know. It's like
in this market,
in this goddamn economy,
in this sort of duopoly market.
But does it all work on you? Like, what are the things we do with it? Well, actually, can you show me some transactions on your phone? Are you across this?
Yeah. So
you don't have to. Nothing. It doesn't have to be incriminating. Or
it won't be anything incriminating. I mean,
but is it working?
All
on
very
you?
boring. It doesn't work on me. Yes, in that there'll be things which are something of a sweet spot, which I will go, oh yeah, and that'll tend to be. It'll be an Amazon. It'll be a book. It'll be books. It'll be on advertising.
Yeah. You're not going to read fiction. Crazy.
When was the last time you read a fiction book?
Well, at the moment I'm reading a fiction.
Are you?
Yeah.
Tell.
But it's not. I'm reading Sally Rooney's Intermezzo or something. I can't remember the name. But anything kind of millennial women that are single, like I kind of like to read about love. But I'm reading it. I'm trying to read it.
Isn't it?
My girlfriend bought it for me because I'm trying to learn Spanish. So I've read it in English and I'm reading it like literally. It's a paragraph. It's taking me like an entire day to get through as I try to check words and be like, I didn't understand what's happening.
So the thing that we all do need to just get back into the rhythm of is it's the book with no phone anywhere near us.
Yeah, you got to get one of those safes and lock it in. Have you heard about these?
I have.
Yeah.
And I think the safe has also got like a charger as well, right?
Yeah, so then you can really go to town when you come out, when you get it back. You're like, thank God it's got full battery.
I think this is a really good idea, though. I try very hard when I do like to. I do read a lot of books, but you know what? I hardly finish any of them these days.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I kind of now find myself wanting to skip through and be like, just give me the talking points.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, I do have a bit of a thing about if I need to leave every book with at least one thing.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. Like, if you get one thing out of it.
Yeah, one thing out of it. But I I mean, I do tend to read, biographies or like literally biographies of people in advertising.
Russell,
As tragic as that.
What it says on the packet is what you deliver.
Yeah, I'm afraid one of the great ones which I started to reread again. Mary Wells of Wells Rich Green. Mary Wells.
Okay. Is this a recommendation?
If you're into sort of the ad world, I think that everyone who loves the advertising business should know about Mary Wells. She was the first New York Stock Exchange CEO, female, of any company of any sort.
Wow.
And it was her agency, Wells Rich Green. And she, I suppose, somewhat more famously, the I Heart NY is, that comes out of Wells Rich Green, and if
that's as big as it gets, right there.
And if we go back to the discussion around what's happened to the advertising industry, and I said all the money's gone.
Yeah.
If you have a look at the chateau that Mary Wells owned on the Mediterranean,
God, must be nice.
You'll see the sort of money that ad people. Even better.
And that's all from I Love NY.
Well, not really, but Braniff Airlines, it's another famous one of hers.
Jeez.
They also, the David Ogilvy, if you have a look at David, back to Chateau, I've got an obsession with chateaus, really.
Yeah.
If you have a look
actually the fifth time you've mentioned the word chateau has come out of your mouth.
Oh, no. If you have a look at David Ogilvy's chateau, it's called Chateau Tufu.
Oh.
Taufau, I think, something like that. It's like, seriously, you have to be the creator of Google to be able to afford something like that these days.
Wow.
Such was the machine.
And now we're here in a warehouse in Brunswick.
Precisely.
What could have been for guys like us?
Well, what could have been? Now I'm trying to find.
Yeah, what have you got?
I don't really buy anything of interest anymore.
That's not true.
It is in that I don't really. I used to be very keen on making sure that I was dressed well.
When I saw you today, I was like, he does look sharp. That was what I thought. And I thought you would. Because a poorly dressed advertising person.
They just don't. Yeah, they're not in advertising anymore.
That's right. Something bad's happened.
Yeah,
they've got to look cool.
Yeah, well,
they've got to look cool.
When I first arrived back at George Patterson to run the joint, as I walked around, the old George's, so you may not have even been to George's.
Oh, no, I haven't been to George's.
So George's was a department store that was in Collins Street.
Okay.
And it was the department store for those that had done well in life.
Okay.
So you
upper
had
class.
Well, you had Buckley and Nunn, which became David Jones.
Yeah,
and you had Myer, right?
Yeah.
And then you had George's. And George's was, as I say, on Collins Street. Anyway, so George's, they did try and relaunch probably about 1990, yeah. 90,
they relaunched in
93, 94. They relaunched badly. The space became available, and George Patterson, the advertising agency, getting back to where our agency's now. Yeah. Well, it was so big it could have the entire department store.
God,
yes.
A department store just full of. What I mean, I don't even know what people do in marketing agencies. Just tapping away.
Tapping away.
Just tapping away.
That's right. So I walked into the George Patterson building, which was George's, and there are people called that are in account service, right? So the bridge between the client and
they're communicating. They've got the account. Yep,
that's it. Thank you. And they're all wearing thongs.
What?
They were wearing.
Come on.
They were wearing thongs.
That upsets me, actually.
Right.
More than this data farming that's going on with the big tech companies.
Right. And so
thongs in an advertising agency.
They were all wearing thongs. And so I about a month after I'd started, I had a conference that was called That Was Then, This Is Now. And then everyone got a present at the end of the conference. It was a bag, and in the bag was a pair of Havaiana thongs.
Okay.
And then I had a tag attached to all the thongs saying something like, dear Sam, I'm really pleased that you're going to do your best to, make George Patterson the greatest agency in the world.
Yeah.
And part of that is I'd love you to have a pair of Havaiana thongs. There's just one rule. I never, ever, ever want to see them on your fucking feet. Right?
Yes. I love hearing old school business stories
there
like that.
There we go.
Throwing some power around.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Well, hopefully those that were there at the time remember that story fondly, not as me being a bully.
No.
Anyway,
but I was
being a bit of a bully, it has to be said. But fair enough, right?
So it's totally. Are you spending money on fashion at all now?
A little, but nothing like I used to. In that, I did I was on a plane a lot. I used to be on a plane every quarter, going to all parts of the world. And
every quarter. That's how you know you're a big week when you're splitting the year into quarters.
Well-
I'm just trying to wake up day by day being like,
Right.
"Dear God, it's
I know.
still going?"
Yeah, and you would fly, and you'd fly into wherever, and part of the game was making sure you looked like you were on
You
your
got
game.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so no, I'm not at that. I don't have to worry about that so much as I used to. I've got a bag full of tires, and when you look at that bag full of tires, I do often think, oh my God, there's probably $1,000 in that bag.
Yeah, the tires are too expensive.
Yeah,
Too expensive.
Is that why people don't wear them? Perhaps.
I wore one the other day for this, and then my girlfriend told me I looked crazy, so I had to stop. Basically,
Well, I can see that you've taken it off.
yeah, I've taken it off.
But I think the tire will come back.
Yeah.
I'm actually very convinced of that. I've seen a few chaps in fact, if you notice a lot of women, that's actually been quite a fashion.
It's cool for women to wear, definitely.
Yeah, M. Nolan. I think M. Nolan being the designer that she sort of does. She is doing women's suits, and the tie is part of her look. She's going really well. M. Nolan. Then you think
She's
about
going really well. Shout out, M. Nolan.
Yeah.
Big
But
shout out.
but then I've seen a few fellas with their ties on, probably about 30 years of age.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, the swing is on.
The swing is on. I think
Yeah.
the tie fell out because it represented, maybe some kind of, corporate elitism. And then there was a countercultural push away from it.
Yeah.
Because often fashion is dictated to by these kind of hipster types that, live in the inner city and who knows what they're doing, but they're not in that world. So they push against it, and now the swing will come back.
Well, of course, because a lot of people would be into the notion of corporate elitism, right? Because,
I mean, if you are a corporate elite, I'm sure it's pretty good.
Right, precisely. And it's competitive.
Yeah.
And part of winning is looking like you're going to win.
That's what I mean. It's
Right.
like take the thongs on, pop the tie on.
Exactly. Packaging does matter in
does.
the world of marketing, Sam. And so, okay, am I buying much fashion?
Yes.
So these trousers here,
Yeah.
they're a recent purchase.
Yeah, they're nice.
I'm quite keen on the ons because
Yeah.
at 4 o'clock in the morning when I get out of
Just gotta
bed,
get comfy.
yeah, they work from that point of view.
Yeah.
This jacket here,
I like the jacket. That's the
I'm
first thing
pleased
I
that you
noticed.
asked me about that because this actually is there's a story attached to this jacket.
Okay.
Opposite George Patterson was a Ralph Lauren store
Oh, yeah. On Collins
on
Street.
Collins.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Look, I'm not in Ralph Lauren that much, but I know Collins Street.
So
Paris End.
this jacket, have you ever stalked fashion?
What? I don't do much stalking, I'll be honest. What do you mean stalk fashion? What's stalk fashion?
So there's an item there you say, I want that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
look at the price
Yeah,
and well, there's no way I'm paying that amount of money for that jacket.
Exactly,
Not a
yeah.
chance.
yeah.
What happens, of course, is that the owner of the store or the manager of the store, they see you stalking that jacket.
Yeah.
And then there's a game. And a game is
game.
afoot. And so they will reduce the price of it because they know they've got a buyer.
That's
on the hook.
it. I have done this. I've done this with like knockoff NBA jerseys in Southeast Asia.
There you go.
Yeah. So pretty similar to the Ralph Lauren.
So this
Collins Street.
jacket I got for half.
Oh,
Yeah. Now I'm going to take it off because you will see it is the most glorious thing ever.
oh, look at this on the inside.
Yeah. And most importantly of all, can you see the colour of the label?
I can see. It's like a beautiful Ralph Lauren purple.
The purple. See, and those in the know will know, Sam, as you know,
yeah.
that the purple label, that's what we're talking.
This is high-end stuff.
We're talking high-end stuff.
See, look, there's a joy in your face that I haven't seen the entire episode right now.
So-
So I think there's some money still going on fashion.
So I recommend stalking.
Yeah, no, I should do it. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost
Are
done.
we?
But there is. I think I have two main questions
Right.
left. Number one, are marketing people allowed to call themselves creatives?
They love calling themselves.
I know they love it because not that I've worked with,
Yeah.
but occasionally I talk to people in marketing and they're like, we're pretty similar, and I'm sometimes like, well, I work in the arts, and you are
Sam.
shopping at Ralph Lauren, okay?
Okay, so Sam, herein lies something. That if
So
you
maybe
don't
it's
mind,
my prejudice?
A suggestion. A suggestion. There's a thing in the Australian, let's call it arts culture,
Yes.
whereby they shun commerce.
Totally.
This doesn't happen in any other mature Western media marketplace.
A great use of the word mature.
If you're in the UK and you're a comedian, you're desperate to get in a commercial and getting paid £500,000.
Totally.
If you are in the US, you're desperate to be. So the line between advertising, media, commerce, talent, Hollywood is blurred. In fact, there is no line.
No, I agree. I mean, I worked on commercial TV as well. And people that will shunt it are very quick when they're trying to plug their product or the thing they've created.
Yeah.
When they want to, have a chance to sell it. Like they will then, maybe not their values or their morals, but they'll turn around on it sometimes.
And the very, very best creative people in the advertising world, they're as creative as anyone who determines to have a let's say an arts career. They are outstanding at what they do. I mean, it's fun to say that the best singer-songwriter in the history of Australia isn't Sia. It's Alan Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if there was an equivalent where you sang in a room and no one saw it, but it was better, like maybe that would check out. But you're only as good as like how many people see it or how many people consume it or how much money you can make out of it to give yourself creative freedom to do other things.
Well, perhaps except maybe you don't want to do other things. You actually just love the creation of a thing which helps people be more successful.
Yeah.
And there is great joy in that.
Oh, absolutely. And you also almost have more immediate feedback of success or failure, I guess, than like, because if you get the business again or it cuts through and, money goes up, as in people buy the product more, it goes better. That's much better than if I write a joke. People laugh, but I'm like, I don't know if it's stuck with them.
No, but just like advertising, I mean, advertising works when you've got to turn up, as we said earlier, relentless, consistent, right? You've got to turn up every day.
Yeah.
So that's the same as what you have to do.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And
there are similarities, which is why I think both sides. This is only from like drunken conversations I've had at the pub with people.
Yeah.
Like on both sides, people being like advertising, people in the arts, where it's like I think because there's so many similarities, there's a bit of headbutting going on in this country about it.
Yeah. I think the art thing really interests me as well. So, surely artists would like the idea of being successful.
Totally.
Yeah. And so
you've got to think that.
Yeah. And so using the power of advertising, communication, media, ideas in order to sell more art, that should be something that they should celebrate.
Well, absolutely. But often I think maybe there's a fear of failing or trying or being seen to doing something. So maybe that holds them back, where you're right. They are so interconnected, which kind of maybe brings me to what I think is maybe a natural endpoint, is the future of advertising. I just noticed the changes in my industry and how it's affecting the product. Like people are now doing shorter.
Yes.
We were talking about, 7:15s and stuff. You now see people trying to put out stand-up clips that are all about 15 seconds or something and context, the lines of it are all changing and what you need to do. Where are we heading with advertising? You said it could ruin the world. We need a union on data. What?
Yes, do.
Where are we going with it all?
All right, so the majority of advertising is going to get worse, and the majority of advertising is going to rely on a machine.
No, AI.
You can see a future whereby you'll be watching some ads that are served on your phone via your algorithm, and that ad may not have been touched by anyone.
Oh,
so that will happen. There's just no question that that's going to happen. What that does, though, is that sets up an opportunity for what I think is going to be a really interesting creative leap. There's a creative leap which takes us back to where we were in the past. I reckon.
Mad Men era.
Well, great writing. Right?
Oh, right. Okay.
So what the algorithm can't do is the algorithm cannot do sort of the outrageous advertising line or the outrageous advertising idea. Right? It will do something which is expected.
Yeah.
And it will do what's expected, via a machine and just churn out a ton load.
Yeah, it'll just be like probability, blah, 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 blah.
Right? And so, and that will serve a role in that it just reminds people of a particular product, and it can be relentless, it can be consistent.
Yeah.
There'll be a role there. But what it won't be doing is it won't be doing the storytelling, and the storytelling equals margin, and that equals brand. Right? So the one I like talking about is in the 80s in the UK, there was a thing called the dime bar, right?
Dime. Oh, it's like a candy, a
Yeah.
chocolate bar.
Yeah. And
Yes, I've had this. It's bizarrely tasting, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, and the line for the dime bar was, it's slightly rippled with a flat underside. It's slightly rippled with a flat
That's
underside.
good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
So an algorithm can't write that. And
No.
so this genuinely is what I believe is going to happen, in that there's going to be this new, and it's recognition of the importance of writing, because advertising's gone through a bit of an art direction.
These creatives, this is the time to be creative,
Right.
okay?
Yeah, well, in the end, advertising is about good writing.
Yeah, totally.
It did go through a long period, really, 2 decades, where the art directors think that they were the king. They're not, or king, queen. They're not. Writers are. Yeah, and great writing, which is out of the box writing, something that says something nonsense and yet is appealing.
Yeah.
Right. So Renault has just bought back the line from the 1990s, "Va va voom." Right?
Oh, yeah.
So why have they done that? My view on why they've done that is because, well, an algorithm can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can attach yourself to something unique. So yeah, to
It's
repeat
like-
myself.
Yeah, I think it's the thing below the surface that no one can see, but it's there.
Yeah.
And then when you see it, you can't, it's like there. And maybe AI can't do that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that thing that's just there. And then when you find it, you're like, that's the line, that's the beauty.
right.
And that is writing. You're so right.
And there's a little bit of a Telstra renaissance coming that is happening in our
I like
market.
those Telstra ads,
They're
with the
fabulous.
weird little things.
They're
Because I've been in like pubs when they've come on, and some people are like, what the hell is, but we're talking about them.
right.
I find them funny and interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and that they are being produced by. So the client is outstanding in that he knows exactly what to do. He understands advertising.
Yeah.
Brent Smart, a globally successful advertising person. So he's been on the agency side.
Yeah.
He's now at Telstra, so he understands what a good idea at a global level looks like. Right?
Yeah.
So he knows the difference between good and bad. Right?
Yeah.
And that's actually much harder than it sounds.
Totally.
So he understands the difference, and then he's got a relationship with people that know how to do really big ideas.
Yeah.
And then he obsesses, as does his agency, which is called Bear Meets Eagle. He obsesses
That's
with
hard.
Yeah.
Bear meets eagle.
Bear Meets Eagle.
Yeah, wow. That's for men who want to advertise. It's tough.
Exactly.
You want to sell guns? Come to Bear meets eagle.
And they obsess around craft. And
Oh, right.
again, that's interesting because ever since the creation of the Apple Mac,
Yeah.
the role that craft has played in advertising has diminished. So every year for the last, that's 20 plus years,
Yeah.
it's you go to the Apple Mac and you just say, what typeface should I use? And the Apple Mac will give you, 100 different typefaces.
Yeah.
You'll go to, a picture search engine. You'll find the picture that you want. Detton Venice. Detton Venice today would be built without ever leaving your desk.
Ah.
But it won't be anywhere near as good as the original, or as what you would do now if you were Telstra, and you would absolutely be obsessed with the craft. You would
Yeah.
go to Venice with a 35mm camera, and you would film it, with your Kodak, and
Yeah.
you would go into the studio, because there's something, and it's imperceptible, but we all know the difference between craft, the same idea that's crafted, versus the idea that's come out of the Mac.
Totally.
And
Totally. There's some genuine thing that can't be quantified that's there,
Yeah.
and it ripples through.
It's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the guys and so I'm hoping that there's this sort of, let's call it a Telstra-led advertising renaissance.
Go Telstra.
Yeah, right, totally. Because we as consumers, we just get to watch better advertising.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause-
at the end of the day, it's like we would prefer to watch the fun stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we've bought into the world, like the transaction is you advertise to us, we'll decide whether we want to buy it.
Correct.
So it's like up your game,
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's where the pressure is. And that's what agencies, I imagine they're having those discussions. So if you're a big corporate in Australia, and you are you're looking at those Telstra ads and say, oh, okay, that's where the bar is. I'm going to,
Yeah.
And why not try and compete? Why
Yeah,
not?
totally.
Why not try and do better? Right. Because you're going to be doing advertising. So why not try and do good advertising?
Yes.
Right.
I'm inspired now. I'm going to get into advertising.
Good on you, Sam.
Russell, this has been a treat. It's been so nice to meet you. Well done on Survey 6, by the way. That's radio talk. People wouldn't know what we're talking about. Have you got anything to plug?
Thank you.
Okay, you can just plug this chat. I like that. No, have you got some stuff out there?
So,
The
well,
book?
no, well, the books, you'd have to go.
You want
gotta-
another $67?
Yeah. So that was called When It's Right to Be Wrong. There's a whole story there, which we've run out of time for When It's Right to Be Wrong. And also Right Brain Workout, Edition 1 and Edition 2.
Yeah.
But I do a podcast with a young fellow called Freddie Young.
Yes, I didn't get to this, and he worked with your son. Is
Yeah,
that
so
right?
he was a good one,
Yeah.
good one. He now is in New York working at an agency called BBDO New York, one of
Yeah.
the best in the world. And he is doing really well over there. And then every Sunday evening for him, Monday morning for me, we do a podcast called Admission. And the Admission podcast, not dissimilar to what we've just done.
It's a clever name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a good chat about what's going on in the world of media, marketing, advertising.
Yeah.
So
a nerdier chat than I assume we just had. I think you could probably get quite deep on it.
we enjoy it. And I'm really grateful. In Freddie, he's at the start of his career.
Yeah.
And he's in the biggest market in the world, and so he can bring to me what's going on. In a global sense, what's going on in that world. So I get to have a top up every single week.
Yeah, great.
And then, of course, I absolutely would love to plug 3RW Breakfast. So thank you for
gotta
that.
plug it. Absolutely.
5:30 to 8:30 every Monday to Friday on
You
3RW.
start at 5:30.
I do start at 5:30.
Like 6 is enough, but 5:30.
5:30.
Which really suggests, that the people that listen to your show are getting up even earlier.
Tradies.
Tradies.
They love it. Look, there's a huge audience, and they thoroughly enjoy the show. It does a good job. The show, informative, funny, interesting.
Spreading vicious rumors that turn out to be true about the dog.
The DOGG.
Yeah.
We-
And Gruen, what's going? Are we coming back?
Gruen will be back next year. Well, I've been invited to the ABC showcase.
The upfront.
Yeah, so my assumption is I've been invited to that because it's on again next year. So that's
It
good.
would, they can't cut it. Like I said, it's the news. It would be like getting rid of the 7:30 report
They're
if
just
they got rid of
bizarre.
Gruen.
Well, I suppose this is as evidenced by Admission, this is the great thing about the ad world is every single week there is something else to talk about.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's continuously refreshing and refreshing itself. And so, content, there's an abundance of content.
Absolutely. And of course, it's hilarious. It's on the ABC.
It's great.
I mean, I know that's part of it all, but
Yeah.
God, it's so perfect.
Well, it's at
So
its best when Will personifies the Gruen,
Yeah.
and the Gruen is cynical.
Yeah. He
that's-
is cynical.
That's when it's at its best.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he just wants to punch the shit out of, whoever's made that stupid piece of advertising.
Oh, totally.
That's when it works really well. And
their disagreements as well. I think that's the thing when you see contrasting ideas, and I think that's what people like to see because it's not this like, oh yeah, it's so great. This is why it's good. It's like some people being like, you're an idiot. Why do you think that? You're an idiot.
yeah, good fun, eh?
Oh, it's great. It's a great show. Well, thanks, mate. It's been so nice to get to know you.
too,
And
Sam.
we'll have to do it again sometime.
Good, I'd love to. Cheers.